Hey, welcome to Guitar Knobs, the guitars, gear, noise, and nonsense podcast, hosted today by these knobs.
Tony Dudzik, the Pick Guardian.
Jared Brandon on pickups.
Hey, it's me, Todd Novak. Welcome, one and all, to the Guitar Knobs podcast, the podcast about guitars, so aptly named the Guitar Knobs podcast.
That's right.
For enthusiasts of all levels and all experiences and all walks of life and everything.
Guitar related.
We're a Skittles bag of guitars. I don't even know what that means. Okay, so here you go. One thing I wanted to point out really quickly, Tony just introduced himself very well. Thank you, Tony. And I wanted to make sure that he did a little shout out for himself, as he has sort of had up the ante in his social world. He's been doing this. He's the OG Pick Guardian. All right, let's just get that straight, everybody.
Yep.
So there's a lot of Pick Guardians out there, apparently, and
There's at least one other.
there's at least one other. I found a couple.
Really?
Yeah. How long have you been doing this?
Oh, gosh. I guess it's going on 13 years now.
13 years. That's a lot of years.
He's the first.
Yeah.
Okay.
The original.
First 13 years of making custom pick guards. So as you're searching, make sure you're finding Tony Dudzik
Yes.
or Tony Dudzik.
Whichever you prefer.
Dudzik.
Right.
Dudzik is fine, too.
So, Tony, while we're talking about you, why don't you talk about something
Very
about us?
near and dear to our hearts.
Yes.
Patreons.
Well, here's the deal. If you really like what we do here,
He's really hamming it up right now.
we all like it. Otherwise, we wouldn't come here week after week,
That's
year
true.
after year.
That's right.
We could really, we'd love it if you would show your support and become a patron on patreon.com. Really, I mean, we were just talking earlier about pedals and different things like that, but for less than the cost of a 9-volt battery or even a cheapo effects pedal,
They're expensive. The batteries are now.
you can help keep this podcast running. And for a couple of your favorite beers and pizzas, as we sometimes enjoy, you can get one of our super cool Guitar Knobs t-shirts as well. And you may be asking yourself, how do I do this? Mm-hmm. It's incredibly easy.
How do you do this, Tony?
It's incredibly easy.
How easy is it?
You can go to patreon.com/the Guitar Knobs, and all the instructions are there.
Super easy to sign up, do you think?
I think it's incredibly easy.
Mm-hmm. Will you be in good company?
There are, well, then you just said right before we went online here,
Yeah.
that we had yet another patron.
Whom we're going to announce at the end.
Oh, we're going to announce at the end. Okay.
Yes.
So I guess in closing, furthermore, and in conclusion, we really do appreciate you in sharing our experience, and we really, your continued support really does help out a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yep to all that. Oh, I wanted to mention, I just got a kick out of this, but, I think probably most of us all have concert shirts and stuff that we've collected through the years, and I just got a new one because one of my favorite longtime bands came and played right in front of me, and it was great. Echo and the Bunnymen, and I got one of the shirts. And of all the concert shirts I have, I get more comments about this one. It's really cool from all different ages. And they're still out there, kicking butt. And Will Sargent, the guitar player, is like one of the, I think he's kind of an unsung shaper of that whole 80s sound and probably doesn't get enough credit. So credit to you, Will Sargent. Awesome guitar guy.
Yes, Sergeant.
If you want to be on the show, just hit me up, seriously. So anyways, onward and onward. Yeah, what do we do in our guitar weeks, everybody? Jared.
Well,
Awesome. Tony.
I'm with Jared.
Okay, so my new thing this week is I fell in love with an acoustic guitar. And it's like they say you find true love without looking for it. Well, I wasn't looking for it, and I met it. It is a 1962 Gibson Hummingbird And I've kind of always wanted a hummingbird in the back of my mind because I already have the dove. It was my dad's. It means everything to me. But I want the hummingbird because it's kind of similar. It's a very similar guitar. And I also want the hummingbird as well because I like the brighter finish on it compared to the dove. So this one's a 62, and it had a new top put on it. The old top was smashed through. The only thing that has been replaced is the top, and it is a Martin top, and Dan has done a fantastic job restoring it, and I fell in love with the sound.
Who's Dan?
Dan Shin that runs Lay's Guitar Repair.
Gotcha.
He's a very reputable luthier. But more about the guitar, it's Brazilian rosewood fingerboard.
How many is a Brazilian exactly?
It is more than you can imagine because it sounds so good. It sounds really good, man. It's very bright and chimey, and you usually don't get nice and bright and chimey out of old Gibsons. You don't. And this one is bright and chimey, so it's to me it's a very special sounding guitar. And I'm going to try to work out a deal to get this thing. And I think we've got it wrapped up, but I'll probably get it maybe in a few weeks. I think he's got.
What if you don't get it? What if you just wait for a little bit and determine if you really actually want that?
I don't know, man.
Because Tony and I weren't totally convinced.
Once I get something in my mind, it's usually a done deal. So. Mm-hmm. I'm probably going to get it. And when I do...
I don't fault you. I'm exactly the same way.
Yeah.
Tunnel vision.
I cannot wait to bring it in and show you guys.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
Hear it. Play it.
All right. Thanks for that, man.
You're welcome.
Jared, I think you got like kind of the pizza sweats for a little bit right now. He's like sitting sideways in the chair, a little bit of...
Like all relaxed.
Yeah.
I know,
you need some slippers or something there, buddy?
Give me my pipe and get a fire going.
Tony, what's going on?
Well, let's see. Lots of things going on. I'm going to give a big salute to Todd for coming over to the shop yesterday and helping me with some Instagram video postings and things. He's teaching me everything I know. But so we did some of that yesterday. We worked on one of his guitars, and I think you can see the postings.
Yeah, I'll put that up on the Facebook group. It's on Instagram right now, but I'll put it on the Facebook group.
Okay, cool. And just ran through another batch of bound archtop pick guards this week. Got a few more to do, but this batch is looking really good. So all those people who've been so patient will be receiving their guards very soon.
Awesome.
So yeah,
that's cool.
Lots of fun stuff. You know, it's frantic at the shop these days. But
well, it's fun to go in the shop too because you got all kinds of really great guitars hanging around. By the way, if you ever want to get rid of the black K, it's a K right in the middle with the cutaway, the black cutaway.
Oh no, that's a Guild Starfire.
Guild Starfire, that's right. Oh man, I want that someday.
Someday,
maybe
it could be yours.
Maybe. All right.
You never know.
I don't have anything to trade. Just my good looks.
Okay,
anyways,
there's
that's
some
weird.
cash in that deal.
So for me, we were just talking about. I'm not a big. I'm an acoustic sort of newbie guy. Not a total newbie.
You're
but
an acoustic agnostic.
I'm just I don't have great passions towards the acoustic guitar world.
I know you have a nice little.
I'm learning about
guitar
it.
that sounds really good though.
So this is number 2. But here's the issue. When I got this, the first thing I did was put the strap on it and went to play it. And the headstock almost snapped off because the jack in the back, the cord jack, which is also the cord button, is much wider than a typical strap hole.
Correct.
This is a common problem on acoustic electrics.
Oh, okay.
So I looked at that and got super frustrated. I cannot figure out why someone hasn't done a better version of this, because apparently it's like the most widely used actual jack.
End pin jack, yeah.
End pin jack. So this little tiny company called Tapestring, like tapestry,
So clever.
but it's Tapestring. Anyways, it's essentially a tiny leather bandit mask.
Sweet.
With a mustache.
With a mustache.
Yeah, it's a safety clip.
Yeah, it essentially it's a very small, very thin leather strap with a hole on either end that is wide enough for the end pin jack. And what you do is you thread this little strap through the actual guitar strap hole, so you don't have to mangle your guitar strap.
Right. You don't have to cut it.
That's that.
Right?
Is, that
and
is
it
really
fits on the
clever.
end, and it's thin, but it's strong because it's leather. And then hanging from it is like a C lock washer,
Yeah, it's like a safety clippy.
like it's just a nylon, like looks like a letter C, and it's just a lock washer. So it goes on, it's a tension washer, and it just snaps on.
Yeah.
So it's essentially a strap block, a very, very, very rudimentary strap block for acoustic guitar, and it was like $9.
Very
Tapestry.
It's worth it.
So if you've had this problem, if you've had to mangle I don't know why, like, they should just say, oh, by the way, this is nobody carries these things. I don't know, how is this possible? I don't understand.
You know, something related to that, I love the old
Thank you, Tapestring. Tapestring, I think is tapestring.com.
Gibson guitars, and they have very small
He's so irritated with me.
they have very small strap buttons. And if you have a very old strap that you love and you just want to use it, and the hole is mangled and opened up and reamed out, then you can buy these little plastic little lock washer things that they're two pieces, and if you turn them the same way, the hole's big, and then you turn it and the hole shrinks, and you can lock your strap onto the button.
Or get a Grolsch beer.
Yes, I was just gonna say
Rubber
that's
washer.
my technique. The Grolsch beer,
Yeah.
used by every professional
bring-
musician.
I bought
Which would
these
work on
things-
this, by the way.
Yeah, probably would do the same thing.
These things I'm talking about, I got like 12 years ago, and I wish I would have bought like 10 sets of these things. Of course, I didn't know I was going to have so many guitars.
Just buy a 12-pack of Grolsch. You'll have all that you need.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to do that.
Get the bottles, though, not the cans.
Right. Yeah, of course.
Did you see him try to...
Jeez, why is this
tabs on.
working? These guys.
Hey.
Oh, boy. Anyway, so yeah, the good thing is there's so many... I like having to choose what I want to talk about at the beginning of the week, because there's all kinds of things.
Of course.
So, but this
Yeah.
one was
That's
pretty
great.
important.
That's
I got a real good one for next week, too.
Okay.
You know,
I trust you.
foreshadowing. It arrived today at my house, but I haven't seen it yet.
Ooh, tell us more. More
Nope,
clues,
nope.
please.
Next episode. Yeah. Anyhow, so let's get on with this. Something big happened in the news. So in the light of this big news, which we will reveal in a second, which will be revealed by this next comment, Corey MacArthur from our Facebook group, thanks, Corey, sent out a really provocative question for us. And it reads, if you win the Powerball tonight, what will your first new guitar-related purchase be? Now, when I first saw this, I was like, oh man, my head exploded, right? Exactly. And then I saw, seen by 11 people. There was 2 comments, and I was like, wait a minute. Wait a dang minute. This is like, what do you want for Christmas? The biggest Christmas ever. And people couldn't muster a response. So I said, no, not good enough. So our topic today is Powerballs
That's right.
That's us.
with a Z, I guess. I don't know. I haven't decided if that's going to be the title or not. But anyway, I was trying to avoid any copyright issues or whatever.
Yeah,
So
I'm sure they could care less.
They probably, you're right. It just sounds important when you do that.
It does.
So, okay, the question is posed to our group. If we were to win the Powerball,
What do you mean if?
If.
I mean, we won.
Well, no.
I won.
You won?
Yeah.
And your address is? Yeah. So, no, one woman
A woman in where was it?
Spin the wheel
Saw it
of
on the
USA.
news. Somewhere up there.
Yep.
And I just got a little blurb, and she works at a hospital or school or something. And
Yeah.
they interviewed her, and she says, "I'm done working."
Yeah.
and,
What was
and
it,
rightfully
like
so.
50
$740 million. And they
Jeez.
said even after taxes, that's $440 million.
That's a lot of 50s, like I was going to say.
Yeah, I think even C-notes, yeah.
Wow. So you can imagine with that kind of money, we are basically just saying it doesn't matter if we know who owns it or where it's at permanently. Cost is not the issue. All bets are open. What 3 items are you taking for your Powerball winnings, like right out of the gate? Yeah. Okay, wrap your head around that. That's a lot. There's some
There's a lot
big
of
history
zeros.
there.
Lots of zeros.
Lots of zeros. Lots of history. Okay. Tony,
Of course. My three
I want all the details.
things. My 3 things all come from the year 1958.
Okay.
That would include a 1958 Flying V, a 1958
Wait.
Explorer.
Just A?
Yeah, you said I could only have 3 things.
Okay. Is there anything special about that? We got to stretch this. This is the
Okay.
main
How
topic, man.
do you realize
Don't
how
you
rare
stretch-
those things are?
I mean, these are like rarer than hen's teeth.
Yes.
I
So
don't even know what that means.
Any
You
of
don't-
them would probably be
hens don't have
satisfactory.
teeth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start with
Maybe
the
in your family they don't.
So anyhow, let's go to the 1958 Flying V.
Yes.
Way back when.
Okay.
Turn the Wayback Machine. Mm-hmm. And this is actually all 3 of my things are from 1958. But the Flying Vs and Explorers came out, and they were this newfangled design, and were immediately a horrible failure for Gibson. I mean, they just, there's stories that people would buy these things, or store owners would buy them just to put them in display in windows because people were just so freaked out, the futuristic looking things. So it was, it's typical late 50s design techniques and what have you. So as a result, most of those Carina Explorers and Vs are very rare today, hard to find, very expensive when you can find them. And so my first 2 purchases would be a 1958 Flying V, a 1958 Explorer, and my third would be a 1958 Les Paul Standard Flametop.
Yep.
Extra flamey.
Serial number 1.
Well, I don't know, whatever. That doesn't matter as long as it's in good
They're
shape.
so rare.
Okay.
They're all valuable.
You
At
have
this
all the
point-
money in the world, man.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'll just get the nicest example of each one.
All right.
I don't care who's owned it. I don't care whatever.
All
As
right.
long as it's in, I'm going to guess as long as it's in 100% original condition.
Well, for that kind of money, it better be.
Yeah, of course.
So, Joe Bonamassa, if you're listening out there, I'm coming after your collection, baby.
That's right. That's right. Well, let's see.
he's got them all, right? I mean,
He has many.
Yeah. You know who
Rick
else
Nielsen, you're next.
yeah.
Slash has many of them as well.
Billy Gibbons, you're also on the list.
So what? Just like retail, help us out here. Like
Today's retail.
Today's retail, I mean, for those 3 instruments, you're getting very close to the $1 million mark.
per?
No.
I didn't think so. I'm trying to give our listeners like
So
an
a burst
idea
is,
here.
I mean, a burst, a Les Paul Standard from that era can go anywhere from 250 to 300, sometimes 350 if it's in really super clean condition.
Yeah.
Those prices have maybe dropped a little, but
I mean,
depending on the market.
the original cases themselves command thousands of dollars depending on the condition.
And then
ridiculous.
then V's and Explorers, while they're actually lower priced than Les Pauls, they still, I mean, in really nice condition, can command Probably at least 200,000, some 150, 200,000. Yeah.
I remember in about 1998, I went into a guitar shop in the state of Washington. A guy had one in this like glass protected thing, and I saw the price tag, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? 50,000 for this thing?" I was
should have bought every one that you could.
I couldn't believe it cost that much.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. I couldn't wrap my head around it. And I'm like, why does that cost so much? Who cares? Had the big Gibson thing on the headstock and everything. It was beautiful. And I remember what it looked like just because of that ridiculous price tag. But now that I look back, I'm like, gosh, I wish I would have had 50 grand.
Yeah. So, I mean, the sad thing is, after I netted my $440 million or whatever, I'd still have $439 million to go.
Yeah.
And that's just sad.
Tony, you spat those out really fast, and we do have an awful lot of money to spend still. So
that's what I'm saying. It's just very sad that I have $439 million more to spend.
Give me 2 more. Give me 2 more. Let's do 5. What? 5.
Okay,
We're each doing 5.
So we got a 58V, we got a 58 Explorer, 58 Burst. Okay, I mean, it could be anything, right?
Amps.
Yeah. This might make a
pedals.
good blog post. I think I'll do a blog post on this.
Yeah.
You can show a lot of cool
All right.
stuff.
Well, if that's the case, I want John Lennon's Rickenbacker 325.
Whoa.
Really?
And yeah, that's currently up at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I want that. One of his.
Really?
You can make that happen.
You seem disappointed. Okay.
I know you like the Ricks.
Yeah, I do like the Ricks, and that's just the quintessential.
There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
And then I'll just stay in the theme of black. I'll take the David Gilmour Black Strat while I'm at it.
Whoa.
Wait, his
The.
Whoa.
The.
Yeah.
I'm sure if I threw 50 million, 100 million his way, he'd say, yeah, I can go buy another one.
Yeah, probably. He's
Maybe
probably
not.
got about like 60 of them in his house or something.
Well, truth
They're
be-
all the same year.
Yeah.
yeah,
same
I don't
finish.
know. I don't think so.
Maybe. I don't know. Who knows?
But that okay. So that's so. But that's still sadly.
You got an awful lot left.
I
But
got
that's
a lot
okay.
left.
That's okay. You're going to use some of that to start a bigger room than Joe Bonamassa has.
I'm going to start a school for kids who want to play guitar and sing real well
There you go. Okay.
with the rest.
With the rest. I like it. All right.
Real good, I
All
should
right,
say.
Tiny. Give it to me.
All right, guys. So the first thing I'm going to do is put the word out to all the brokers that I want to be able to choose from all the 1959 or 58 or even 1960. Could be one of those 3 years. Gibson Les Paul, Burst, of course, which is a standard. And I want to be able to choose the one I want out of what everybody's willing to sell. That's anybody that's been into guitars for a long time knows that's pretty much the holy grail in general. So yeah, that's one that I definitely want.
It's a holy grail.
It is, but it's one of the most sought after guitars ever.
Yeah.
Hence the $250,000 price on most of them.
That's the BC Rich what?
BC what?
Okay.
I'd take one of the first BC Riches, I guess, if I had the chance. But
Hey, in all fairness, the early BC Riches are extremely well made
they all
guitars.
started out really well, and then they all got shipped overseas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, number 2, I want a Jimmy Page double neck SG, and I want. He's not going to give me his. Okay, he's not. So I want one exactly.
You have all the money.
I know, but he's not gonna sell that guitar.
I think that is one of my favorites.
But you could probably
of
afford
course
to
he would.
fly him in and have lunch with him.
Right.
And say, Jimmy, could you help me pick one of these, please?
Yeah.
Which
Well, of
would you
course.
play if you could? Does
For the
anyone
right
remember?
price, he would. But I want one exactly like his. I want one Exactly.
You get why you don't want that.
Exactly.
You don't want his.
I don't want the 70s ones with the shorter headstock for the 12. I think his is late 50s, early 60s, I would say.
It's one of the early ones, and I think
an early one.
One of the big differences, as I remember, is the tailpieces are actually
all the way down
they're
to the
further,
bottom of the
Yeah.
So I want one of those. And they made a really nice custom shop version of that. But I want the best thing that you could buy with money close to his.
Okay.
Or if he's like, listen, I'm not going to really play anymore, I'll sell you this one for,
all the scenarios.
50
hey, listen,
million
I'm
bucks.
not going to play. He's just on his chair in his backyard. Hey, listen, on his cordless mobile phone.
Right.
Hey, listen,
The big one with the
I'm not
big
going to
metal
play this
antenna.
thing anymore.
What would you give me for it?
50 million.
50 million.
I'd give him 50 million just to have that.
That's a lot. But okay, keep going. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, but you have
So is that the white? That's a
400
white one,
million.
right?
What?
Is that a white one?
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I'm sorry, I'm not up on my double
knowledge.
necks.
It's Cherry, man.
Cherry.
You're
Cherry.
thinking
Right.
of a Hotel California.
No, I'm not, because I can't stand whatever on any of that business.
Don Felder.
Are you kidding me? The Eagles?
Eagles.
Awesome
Nope.
band.
Yeah.
Not for me.
Okay, you don't have to
But
like
everybody else can love him.
Don Felder, man. The I don't want his SG though.
No, that's okay. You can't
He's
have
got
it
the
anyway.
short
He's
headstock.
not
He
giving
wants
his
the
away
Pagey.
either.
I want the Page Cherry double neck SG.
All right.
Number 3.
Number 3.
Well, now, will that mean that you now have 2 more SGs or one?
That's a very good question. No,
Saw it in
that's
half.
one guitar.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so what else you got?
I want an all original, like 1954 Fender Stratocaster. All original, untouched, unmolested, 1954.
Why?
Because they're awesome.
Compelling. Why else?
It's the first year they were. It's the first year they
Tell
were
us
made.
less.
Can you tell Todd loves the Stratocaster?
I think it's
man.
because it's the first year, right?
It is the first year.
And that's, I mean, there is something magical about many of those instruments.
They are
Sure.
the pickups were hand wound, and Leo was very particular how his instruments were made, and he was all about top quality. So, I mean, if I couldn't,
Maybe not.
well,
Sometimes.
in his mind it was,
At the beginning, maybe.
but his mind
I
it
mean,
was. but
famously, it was about how can I make this cheaper? Everything was how could I make this cheaper?
well, yeah, I mean, he used the same coffee cup for days. You know, the styrofoam coffee cup for days. He was very
That translates
conservative.
into guitars, but
No, he was conservative.
Okay, all right.
I've actually worked on pickups that he has built. He used magazine wrappings as yes, he used
Yeah.
magazine wrappings or magazine pages and used them as wire insulation for connections.
Are you serious?
I am
That's
dead
awesome.
serious. I have pictures.
That's
of
cool.
this. So yeah, he was like that, but they were great.
you had to get rid of the centerfold somehow. Hey,
So I want. I also want.
what color do you want?
Oh, it's got to
And
be a
it-
custom color, man.
didn't they only
Well, they
come?
didn't have custom colors
Yeah.
in 54.
Not in 54.
No. Yeah,
I guess I
you had
can't
two
buy one.
choices.
Not even if I have like $1 million.
No, because unless
They
you
didn't do it.
unless you want to spend the money to build a Wayback Machine and say, Leo, how about painting me one
Wasn't
of
the
those?
only color
Custom colors I don't think came out till like 57-ish. Yeah.
Then wasn't that just the sunburst?
You get sunburst, and I think there were some black ones from back then too.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I think those were your choices. I mean,
Yeah,
basically it was
sunburst
sunburst
or
or black.
Yep. There's the 54 Strat I want.
Okay.
I want
Number 4,
a Blackguard. I want a Telly Blackguard.
51.
51, baby.
Earlier? Let's go earlier.
Can
Like
you?
I get a no-caster.
I don't want the Nokia. I want a Fender Blackguard. The Telecaster Blackguard.
Okay.
It's got to be the Blackguard. I want one of those. And I want to have the Telly book with the matching serial number, the Blackguard Bible book that tells you everything there is to know about blackguards.
Do you have
And
that book?
I don't. And
You need that book.
If you actually, a friend of mine owns 3 original blackguards, and he bought.
So Blackguard, help me out here.
It's a.
I know I've handled a couple, but just
It's a
help me
Fender
out here.
Telecaster that has the black pickguard.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, could you be more specific? So that's a one ply.
Butterscotch
Butterscotch body with-
black pickguard, 5
right,
hole.
and if they're next to a no caster, they're identical except one doesn't have the headstock. I believe.
Well, that yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah, when we were at the show, there were, because remember,
Yeah.
There was like, well, you weren't at that one, but we were at the show, and one of the guys had a couple of them out there, and he wanted me to pick it up. And he's like, "Oh, go ahead and pick it up." I'm like, "I'm not touching that thing. Are you kidding me? It's $25,000 price tag right in front of me. I'm not gonna look at it.
I walked away with it.
I'm gonna.
He's only asking 25,000.
That's actually
Is that
fair.
Is that right? I thought they were more than that.
No.
Yeah, that was one of the first
Maybe 8, 9
pictures
years
that we
ago.
took on the Facebook group. Because I was like, wow, that was officially the most expensive guitar.
It's
I've
not
held.
really a hard thing to find, but they're just they're still expensive. I think you're going to be like 18 for a good one.
Okay.
But I'd like to have one of those. I mean, they were a very prominent guitar, especially in your recording studio. So, and number 4,
I think that was 4.
Oh, poo. Oh, that's right. It was 4. Number 5.
Thanks, Auntie M.
It's kind of a different.
Oh, poo.
Oh, poo. Well, you can't say the other word.
Oh, bother.
So number 5's going to be kind of different than just a general thing. What I would do is I would hire as many CIA or detectives as I could and find out what happened to my dad's Black Beauty that he sold in 1973. I would pay people to track that guitar down because I would buy that guitar.
Huh.
That's all right.
Because it was my dad's.
Nice.
That would probably be the most important one, but I've always kind of wondered where that guitar ended up. So, yeah.
Do you have the serial number?
No, I don't.
That's going to make it a little more difficult.
Dad met or saw the guy that he sold it to, and he called him up, and the guy said he sold it a long time ago. So
That will make it very difficult.
yeah, but you would start with him, and then you would find that guy, and then probably a bunch of other people. And who knows where the guitar's
You
at.
throw enough money at it, you can solve the problem.
Indeed. All right.
How about you, Todd?
How about me? All right. Well, I love rock and roll. I big fat giant capital effing love rock and roll. And starting out with the band, one of my 2 favorite bands in the whole wide world ever in all
know
of
that
history,
this is-
The Clash.
Oh, that one.
Second is Oasis. Yeah, I love it. Anyways, knock me if you like, everyone out there. I want Joe Strummer's 1966 Fender Telecaster.
No problem.
The famous one that was painted over in black with stickers.
Yeah.
Trash City, ignore alien orders. I've seen that one in person, and it's one of the few inanimate objects that has left me with all the hair on my body standing on end. That was incredible. And I would want that. I wouldn't play it. I couldn't bring myself to play it, but I would definitely want it. And that would hang right next to, arguably, in my opinion, the most famous guitar in the world. The most famous guitar in the world.
That's a very good enunciation.
Anybody want to take a stab on what the most famous guitar in the world is?
Jimmy Page is number 1.
Nope.
Yes, it is.
Nope. Think of the most famous rock and roll picture ever.
Jimmy Page?
Okay.
Jimi
no.
Hendrix's?
Nope. All nope. Give up. Paul Simonin's
I never heard of
the
her.
bass.
bass.
The bass.
The 70s precision bass that he famously smashed So the picture is of him in flight. I know everybody out there has seen that. He's bent over. He's frustrated with the sound, and he takes his big giant white bass by the neck up by the headstock and swings as hard as he can and smacks it in two.
Why would you want that bass then if he never got the right sound out of it?
Oh my gosh! Oh,
That sounds like a lemon.
that is.
I'm just saying, man.
Yeah, no.
That's a good one.
Anyways, yeah, I would want that. The famous pressure bass. He had pressure stenciled or written across the horn, and he had hand painted the pick guard with his. He was doing the splatter paint thing, and that's an important instrument to me, because that picture to me represents all that is wicked and awesome and powerful and rebellious and
Punk rock, bro.
everything in rock, and I love it. So number 3, I mean, if I'm going to have those two, I have to have the 1959 Gibson Les Paul Jr. owned by Mick Jones
There it is.
in red. Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Can you imagine that? Having like that whole, like the entire band, like guitar arsenal? That's a word I just made up.
Well, yeah, everybody wants Jimmy
Copyright.
Page's collection.
Well,
too.
you do anyways.
A lot of people do.
Apparently he does too, because he's not going to give it to you.
Well, you might as well get the
Correct.
drum kit too. while
No,
you're at
I
it.
don't want the drum kit. But I want those 3 guys. They're so iconic to me. So that's number 1, number 2, and number 3.
Nice.
I mean, I ended up getting a double cutaway, much like that one. Not exactly, but
That's a great guitar,
I like
dude.
it. It really is. It's
Especially
killer.
Gibson, whatever they made, it seems like in 57, 58, 59, great guitars.
Yeah, and honestly, I wouldn't even care if it was a crap guitar. I mean, perfectly honest. The fact that it's a 58 Gibson has zero bearing on it. It is the fact that the music that came out of those guitars, and that they weren't guys that had huge, they didn't have a bevy of guitars. Like Strummer played that guitar. Like that was his
but
guitar.
Those were still very attainable in the time of them coming up.
Yep. But those ones, the ones that they owned, that music came out of. That's so important to me. That's why I would have it. Like I said, I don't care if it was absolute garbage, but they all had really good instruments, actually.
Well, because they were 1958.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Anyways, this is coming off of a long pizza discussion about amplifiers. So
That's what we do,
The
and we
tension
love it,
is
man.
thick. Okay, number 4, but certainly not number 4 in my book. It just, this is where it landed. It's not of importance. The numbers. Johnny Cash's 1959 Gibson J200, which inspired my pickguard design on my acoustic guitar. The red sunburst with this funky black double pickguard, and it's not even a double; it's a single piece. Mm-hmm. It's this huge pointy pickguard, but I love it. I absolutely love it.
I don't blame. I mean, Gibson did that designy stuff for a lot of the 50s artists.
I don't think Gibson did that on his guitar.
What are you
Well,
talking
that's a good question.
I think that was somebody customized his guitar.
So it wasn't Gibson that did all the cool customizing.
No.
It was some other company. Okay, I stand in for
Probably
them.
some guy down in Nashville
Okay.
that was sitting there.
But, it seemed like these stars had all these personalized, like Elvis had all these personalized guitars.
Yeah, I think those were
Everly
done.
Brothers and,
Yeah,
with all the...
Well, the Everly Brothers, they did. Yeah, Gibson did do a signature model for them. But I think a lot of the inlaid on the fretboard and stuff was done.
Afterward?
Yeah, aftermarket stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it's
and his
still really
obviously that
cool.
one has his name inlaid on the board.
That is a cool guitar, man.
But I mean, that's how the history of that is just.
If these guitars...
He's like,
talk.
no words, man. Seriously, yeah, that's some heavy weight rock history right there.
Yeah.
And
Numero 50.
number 5 is of little or no actual consequence at all, except for the fact that it is a 57 Les Paul P90 Gold Top that I would want just aged like an old woman.
All like crazed and
And green and everything,
oxidized.
man. Yeah, I would want. I think that would be just cool. I think the Gold Top is definitely my favorite of the Les Pauls.
And you said 1957, right?
Yep.
That's a good year. They had the stop tails by then, right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, I think the earliest ones were like 50, or they switched over in 54, maybe?
5?
Maybe 55. I can't.
I don't remember. Well, yeah, that's a really good year.
Now, I'm kind of shocked because I did not hear a Duffy White Falcon on that list.
That was like I was fighting right there, but I didn't want to make it just the tribute hour.
But instead it became the tribute hour.
Yeah.
And it was all guitars, too. We all bought guitars. I mean, I could have said I wanted John Paul Jones' Mellotron,
Yeah.
that he toured with all the time.
Yeah. Duffy's White Falcon is right. But see, the thing is, honestly, I probably would want this Black Falcon. That's where I kind of was like, oh, nope. If I really wanted, I
get them both. You've got $440 million.
I can go back.
Yeah.
Get a red one and a green one. Just get every color.
Yeah.
I would also want a quadruple decker organ.
Wait, you can't. You had your 4.
5.
You had your
And
5.
then some.
I have the money to buy more. I want a 5
Well, he picked 5, but that first one was garbage anyway. So you really picked 4. Come on, I'm just kidding. So here's the thing. I'm surprised. So let's talk about the things that we're surprised that we didn't pick. All right. So Tony, you just said that you were surprised that I didn't pick Billy Duffy's White Falcon.
Yes.
All right, Jared, what were you surprised that I didn't pick?
The Noel Gallagher Epiphone, dude.
The Union Jack.
That's right.
That was number 6.
Okay,
so those are both good guesses. Well done, boys.
We know you so well.
Tony, I was surprised that you didn't choose the famous John Lennon Gibson J160E.
Yeah, that's a mouthful.
With the
For
little
electrical.
knobs. Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been a good one.
Little Blackbird acoustic.
McCartney wrote that though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they all use the same dang guitar.
No, McCartney actually.
He's actually right-handed.
They had to flip
I did the long
strings
play
around.
on that one.
Wow. Man, my world is shattered.
Shadube.
Whoops.
All right.
He's not really not dead, is he?
Oh man, we're not even going there. What were you surprised that Tony didn't pick?
Tony, man, I'm surprised you didn't pick the 12-string Rickenbacker that George Harrison had.
That probably should have been on the list, but
Can't have them all, can you?
Can't have them all. Even I might even settle for the Rosewood Telly.
Okay.
That would be a very cool one to have too. There's an app that you can download for your iPhone and iPad. That's the George Harrison collection, and they have all those guitars in there. It's actually pretty cool, and it's $5 or $6, whatever it is.
Oh wow.
But there's some really cool photos and stuff, and his son plays all of the guitars. I highly recommend it for any George Harrison
enthusiasts.
All right. So, Jared,
Yeah.
I'm surprised that you didn't choose Jimmy's 68 white Strat.
Well, I really do want that guitar. But if I were to buy it, what I would do is actually convert it back to right-handed. And that's
What the hell? That's like sacrilege. What are you talking about?
I would be tempted to do that because I would
Oh
play it.
my goodness. I can't believe you just what?
Wouldn't you do that, Tony?
If I had that guitar, I would pay a Jimi Hendrix impersonator, a good one.
Oh, a good one. No, you wouldn't pay for a bad one.
I would not pay for a bad
I'd
one.
find the worst one. That would be amazing. You can hire me. You can hire me.
But wouldn't it be cool? You just have a guy that hangs out at the house, and when you have a party or
just
something,
permanently?
hey, hop to it.
Oh yeah,
Right.
And
Here's,
he just starts doing Jimi Hendrix.
I'm making toast. Make me.
He lives in the pool house, and you call him over. All right, let's do the Jimmy.
Jam. Come on.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right.
That would be a good life just to be that guy.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, you have so many SGs. I figured there'd be at least a half dozen on
There's
there.
one.
Well,
that I don't have. Right
I got
now
another
that I
one to
want.
throw out for him.
What's that?
I mean, dude, Angus Young. Hello. How could you not have?
I would like one of his early '60s models.
Yeah,
that he
man.
had, that he played.
Yeah, that's another good one.
I would like to have one of his. But you can never play it like him, though, man. He just has a way. I mean,
You would look very strange in the schoolboy outfit.
right.
Yes.
Right. But one thing about these things, man, even though we'd have the exact guitars, it wouldn't be easy to. I guess you would.
It's not about. Is this going to be easy to play? It's about.
and sound like them, but it's just about having them.
So here's the
Cherishing
difference.
them, I
Yeah,
guess.
because like when I picked that gold top, it's because that's a cool guitar that I would want to have, that I would want to play, that I would want to like rock on.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
the other ones are just like, I want those because that is personal, like humongous meaning to me.
you know what? I would play them. I would play them, and
I couldn't. I'd play mix.
that's why I would
But I
be
wouldn't-
tempted to
there's
change
no way
around
I'd play
Hendrix
Joe's.
guitar back to
No way.
right-handed. I would play them. I have to play it. I don't know why. I can't buy a collectible toy and not take it out of the box.
I'd put it next to me I'd put it next to my bed at night, but I wouldn't play it.
Oh, I would.
I'd hold it while I was watching TV. Or
Heck,
something.
man, I'd play them until they needed,
Well, I don't know if
New
you've
friends.
seen this one is pretty well
the Joe Strummer.
messed up. Yeah, it's definitely
Probably
seen its
stinks.
better day.
The more messed up, the
It's
better, man.
like, it's super messed up, all rusty and DNA'd and the whole 9 yards.
Well, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I remember being at a guitar shop. I was a teenager, and this guy had okay stuff in there. It wasn't very good, but he had one old Les Paul custom, but it had no finish on the top, and it was just written on and old and deteriorated and all that, and it looked so cool. And I picked it up and was playing it. It was so awesome. And the guy looked at me and said, "Hey, man, that's not for sale. That's my son's guitar." I'm like, "Oh, come on, man!
Oh,
It's
snap.
the coolest guitar in here."
Yeah.
So I'm with you on the more messed up, the better.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily say that, but well, that's okay.
But I know what you mean.
Yeah. We
Mission
learned-
accomplished.
I think we pretty much know each other's tastes to a degree at this point. I think so. Cool. Yeah, I'll put that up as a blog, just a list of all the things that we named off if we
Yeah, and,
won
and,
Powerballs.
and everybody can just. I mean, I think we should have our Facebook followers also list their top 5 list
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's out there thanks to Corey MacArthur.
Oh,
thanks again.
thanks,
So
Corey.
everybody, hey, go to the Facebook group and find that thread. It's super cool.
Yep.
Now, I will say originally, because I was messing around with my pedals at the time, I was like, you know what? I wanted Dan and Mick to build me a gig rig pedal board from that pedal show. Loaded, baby. But we're talking big money now, and with a little bit more thought, I came
Yeah.
to these conclusions. And speaking of conclusions, we need to get on to Would You Rather.
Would you rather? Okay, guys.
Tony, what do we got? Just kidding. This is Jared's spot. Do it.
All right, guys. So it's a very simple would you rather, but maybe not. It just depends what you like.
No, it's pretty simple.
It is simple, dig on it. All right. Acoustic guitar. Would you rather have binding on the neck or no binding on the neck? Which?
Tony.
Gosh, I mean, from a playing standpoint, the no binding always feels better to me. There's something sharp about having binding on. So I'm gonna go no binding. Working man's guitar.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
that's a
we're,
good
to be
choice.
specific, this is for acoustic.
Okay.
Yes, for an acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, Jared.
Me, well, my Gibson Dove has binding, and it's so worn down and worn through and so played. If you closed your eyes, I don't think you'd be able to tell if it had binding or not. But if you open your eyes, to me, binding is so appealing, and it's just eye candy. I love binding on a guitar. I love the bells and whistles. So, but I like your point about if you had I have a newer Doves in Flight that it's like triple binding down the neck. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. And that's sharp. It just feels sharp and, and comfortable. So I'm going to go binding with stipulation.
Yeah, it's a qualified binding.
That's right.
With stipulations.
With a stipulation.
Well, I'm going no binding, period. I like a satin neck on an acoustic. That's how I like it.
Why is that? Does it stem for your child?
It's really weird because it doesn't. I don't necessarily. I have some electrics that I've, taken the finish down a little bit to satinize them, which works on some guitars and not others. I've found, but there's something about the acoustic to me that just I don't know. It's because I don't know. It just
feels right.
It just feels right. Yeah, it feels like that's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
I'm not really sure why, and I don't. I'm not a super noodler, so I'm not flying up and down the neck. I'm knocking out rhythm chords, but it just feels right. Tell you what. You know what else feels right, guys?
What's that?
Calling off a few important people to our podcast.
Vips.
Oh, yeah.
Vips, if you will.
Yes, we want to thank Matt Brammer, brand new to the Patreon group.
Welcome, Matt. Thank
you.
Thank you so much.
Executive producer Matt Brammer,
Yay.
David Wolfson, Martin Cliff, and Tom Barazin for being supporters, executive producers of our show.
Thank you.
So if you want to become an executive producer and have your name read off with these guys and help us out, head over to patreon.com/the Guitar Knobs to find out how. And with that, we will talk to you next week. Subscribe!
Yeah. Jimmy can afford to be a Patreon.
Okie dokie. Ooh!
Tony Dudzik, the Picardian.
What the Picardian?
Picardian. Tony Dudzik, the Picardian.
You said Picardian again. Wow, I don't know what happened. Oh. Well, that's it for these knobs. Please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/The Guitar Knobs. Visit our website at theguitarknobs.com for all of our past episodes, 4 on the Floor blog, and other good stuff. You can connect with us on social too at our Facebook page and share your gear and stories on our Facebook group. Also, be sure to check out our Instagram at Guitar Knobs. Catch you next time.